Flashback to the Turnpike 73. Cop shot on the floor. Who's the culprit aside of Shakur? First they attack the Panthers. They drop COINTELPRO papers with all these questions and it's a rack of answers. These females think they got it hard and result of dancing. Imagine being America's most wanted like Charles Manson. The epitome of a goddess, facing a murder rap, railroaded on all the charges. First they took her freedom, in the hospital, shot up, still bleeding. Took her to the precinct for a lineup. Your Honor, wasn't interested in the facts, just the fact that the officer was white and she was black. When the trial was a rap, she was pregnant by a co-defendant. They put the gun to her stomach while a baby in it. Don't need another leader, they ain't wanna feed her, hoping she miscarried. That was the pig's manners. All along she had another plan, show the strength of a queen that's from the motherland. All praises, she ended up in Cuba, no extradition. Black woman, you need to listen. Yeah, yeah. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive.
Every time I went delving deeper into the history of African people and the history of the world, which is the history of African people, I always went into the black woman. There was no way to get around the black woman in this whole process.
The black woman is God. She birthed man like blackness through the stars. When the creator made her, a portal opened in time. Now we manifest reality through a womb that's divine. It was prophesied that birth she'd be a leader. Umbilical, wrapped around her neck, call her Nzinga. Queen of Ndoga, queen of Matamba, kingdom of Mbundu, people of Angola. Ruler like a father, she serious with the combat. Slavery was poppin', she made the Portuguese fall back. Play it like she kidding, she bring it to where you all at. Turned the servant into a throne so she could talk facts. Pressure made her brother commit suicide. That's when she stepped up like it's do or die. Whatever to unify, never deal with cowards do. Mover of the generals, the black woman is powerful.
Yeah. The black woman's alive. 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 Yeah. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive.
Now, I'm sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut
The black woman's alive.
who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes. And so they said to him, well, what about God? And he said, she is black.
Hey, ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Man, hey sis, peace and blessings.
Peace, sis. I'm very happy to be here.
Me too. Having a wonderful Saturday. How was your Saturday going?
Everything has been divine. Definitely in the season of water right now. All this rain going on. So happy Obatala season, y'all.
Yes, happy Obatala. Yes, I definitely feel that watery season. It's been a lot of rain. I feel like it's April. Shit.
For real.
I'm like, why is it raining so much? But I guess that's better than the alternative snow right now. So,
right, like y'all ready for it to freeze? No, then be quiet.
shut the fuck up. Indeed. You know, every time I hear that song when Knowledge plays that intro right there, which I think should just be our intro, you know, we should just that should just be it.
We should just have like a whole like video situation, just make that whole thing our theme song, and pull up after the theme song play, like, hey, we did.
Absolutely, I think so. I think we need to do that. That joint rocks. I love it. You know why I like it so much? Because, you know, Saba the Goddess has a Black Woman is God song, right? And it's dope. It's really deep. I love to hear it, but it sounds so beautiful coming out of a Black man's mouth. The acknowledgement, you know, the acknowledgement of being even in the presence of Black men who understand the place of a true Black woman, like truly understand where she belongs is amazing. So when you hear them speak like that, It's something about a man saying it like that. I mean, when I hear the woman say it, we know that. But when you can get the confirmation from your man, that is a beautiful thing. So when I hear that song, I just feel some kind of way. I always want to get on that topic. When I hear that song, bam, just want to jump onto that topic.
I really had someone trying to debate me that information recently. I had to, and then my reaction. He turned around and called me mean, so you can only imagine how I reacted.
Oh, yes.
It's like, yeah, okay, I'll be mean.
Okay.
Don't do that in my inbox, guys. Use discernment when you enter my inbox.
Yes, I've had people hit my inbox, and I just be like, "Really? This is what you about to talk to me about?" That's the wonderful thing about, and the it's like the gift and the curse. When you get onto a podcast or into a platform, when you start speaking your thought processes and your theories in your mind, people always want to come in and kind of counter correct your thoughts, and it's like, excuse me.
Why you want to debate me on my thoughts?
Last time I checked, these were my thoughts and my process. And this is actually what's been working for me. And the people who come here, they come to hear this. So if you don't like it and you don't like it, you know, there's a million, billion, trillion podcasts to tap into. Or there's so many people that you can watch and read their news feed that may agree with that twerked up mindset you may have that the phallus created everything. But in my mindset, all energy started as feminine energy, which birthed masculine energy, but it had to come from somewhere. We always know everything comes from something. Like there is a beginning to everything. And if we go to the beginning, it was feminine energy. It's nothing wrong with saying that. Again, I hate how weird it is for people to understand. Like it's like mind blowing. It's like my head is going to explode if I could think opposite of what I've been taught. But it's crazy because if you just flip everything opposite of what you've been taught, you might get a little truth. You might just get a little bit of truth.
My response be like, so what is your genesis? When you were in the womb as a little zygote, what the fuck were you? You weren't a boy. You was a girl. So your genesis is you were a divine feminine energy. And you started splitting up, and then you started developing certain body parts and hormones and things from those body parts that allowed you to be more masculine. But how did you start? Okay, that's your Bible. Oh, all right, then that further brings. I'm done. I don't even gotta look into history. Let's be present. What's your genesis? Talk about your Bible real quick. How'd that start? It started feminine or why? Shit.
No,
don't play with me. It's not the season.
Just you. Where did your darkness? Where was your first? Who was your first God when you came out? What was giving you food and all that shit before somebody told you what was God? What did you think?
Where'd you get your milk and honey from?
Exactly, baby.
Why?
Because when you lean into them bosoms that they speak of in the Bible, I don't know nothing that got bosoms like a womb, man. So,
all right. All right. Hey, man, we can keep going, but let's talk about. 'Tis the season of not debating. 'Tis the season of actually meditation, chilling the fuck out, minding your business. Honestly, it's hibernation time. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, we talk about flowing with the seasons because I was thinking about the word flow, right? Because we always hear people say, I just go with the flow. But what is the flow, right? And the flow is the energy of the universe. You're going with the flow of the universe. And the universe actually has a flow, that we can actually follow. We can actually follow the energy. Just like my homie Perry says, he chases the sun. He goes with the sun during the season. So because we people of the sun, while we in these cold climates, we should be moving with the sun, right? So you're following if you're going with the flow of the energy. And so today we want to discuss how, each season has its own flow and every season has its own type of energy. And if we want to go with the flow, we need to tap into that energy and not be trying to do shit out of season. Because I feel like a lot of times that's the thing. We've never been taught. We've been taught about each season, but we haven't been taught about ourselves enough to know that we, are a part of each of these seasons. And I think I thought about it the most is when you said, this Scorpio season has been like, every Scorpio. And I thought about it like, damn, if we thought about life, if we could even just break our lives down, it'll make it a little bit easier. If you just thought about it like that. There's only 4 seasons, right? There's 4 seasons. And in that season, there's different zodiac signs. But during that time, you'll feel these certain type of energies, and it'll happen every fucking year, but you don't even realize it because you're not paying attention to the patterns that your body is on the same pattern as the seasons. Your mindset is there. You know, you may get sad every time it comes around to around this time of year, and you don't know why, but it's because it's the season. And if you go with the flow, if you realize and recognize, you know, that this is changing because of this, you have control. You have you're able to actually, you know, tap into the flow and say, hey, I'm gonna jump into this frequency instead of like just going with whatever is making me feel like, you know. And I realized that when you said that, you was like, this Scorpio season feels like, and I said, damn, she said it like every Scorpio season. She looks at every season versus being like this time of the year or this month, but this the season that we're in. So right now we're in winter season, which is not for planting, growing, or none of that. It's for reflecting. It's about releasing. It's about, you know, getting what you need and just kind of staying to yourself in a way, like rebuilding, replenishing, because, you know, we give out so much energy in the summertime. And so by the time winter comes, it's like, you got to get all that shit back. So you be ready for the next summer.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts. Yeah, it's definitely like, just like you said, like we're solar beings. So like, think about the sun right now. First of all, Earth is in retrograde. I established that a couple planetary forecasts ago. This whole daylight savings thing is a ruse. F these matrix inventors. They call how we in daylight savings time, but nobody else is now. We're in retrograde, just like everybody else. This is our retrograde season. It's from like October to what, like was that March, April? So around during this season when we're in retrograde, it's time for rest. The same way we would do when Mercury is in retrograde. We will learn how to rest our technology, rest our communication skills, give rest and go inward. Like retrogrades are more like, I guess, you know, it's really dope that we started the conversation on feminine energy, because retrogrades are like quote unquote feminine energy, going inward, using your intuition, being introverted, just inner self. So during this retrograde season, same way you do with any other retrograde, it's time to go inward. It's time to slow down. It's time to, you know, take a deep breath. And because, you know, the sun, like how we, you know, describe the sun, you know, during astrology or whatever, it's like the sun is the masculine self, your extroverted self. You know, you're going out and creating anything with the EX in front of experiences and stuff like that. That's all for the summertime when we have the sun majority of the day and stuff like that. But once that starts dwindling down, you do start to, you're getting sleepy earlier. And for those of you guys that's trying to fight it because y'all want to work 2-3 jobs for Christmas, shame on you. I'm not giving nobody no more coddling. I'm not coddling nobody no more. Like, if you're still doing this nut shit, if you're still in this space and you're still, you know, acting like you don't know what's going on and stuff, I don't feel bad for you. I really don't. I've been doing this personally for about 10 years now. And I know people that's been doing it for tens of years. So like, ignorance is really a choice, and I'm not going to coddle nobody anymore. I'm just not there no more yet.
Right.
I'm just there, and I'm not there no more. Like, you know, you already have an innate sense of depression because we are solar beings and we get a lot of our minerals and our vitamins from the sun, and you're not getting them now, on top of the fact that you probably weren't eating the way you were supposed to be eating all summer, eating a whole bunch of junk shit, and, you know, going to all these greasy ass food trucks, and I want to support black businesses, but all these black businesses out here is killing you with their food. Can't nobody tell you who they buy their food from before they cook it and give it to you. Yeah, right. I'm not coddling nobody no more. It's not the season. This is not the season for coddling. This is the season for meditation, fasting, detoxing, all of that. Because I'm telling you about stuff. Y'all sitting here eating junk all summer, then turn around and eat junk all Thanksgiving. We're not supposed to be eating like that. This is a season of fasting. The sun is what assists you in digestion. Your digestion system is ruled by the solar plexus. So if there's not a lot of sun going on, why is there a lot of eating going on? It's beyond me. But this ain't that. This is not time for all this glutton and stuff. And that's why during this time, if people pay attention to the patterns in their life during this time, is around the time where people start getting sick, they started getting ailments, their mucus is overactivity in mucus because everybody's eating all this junk, and then they're overeating the junk. You got candy and Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas dinners, everybody's getting drunk all winter, whether it's because you're depressed or it's party time because we have to go indoors all the time, different stuff like that. And then a lot of these, holiday liquors and spirits and stuff. Also, be mindful, the veil is thin. A lot of these alcohol companies, maybe some of their descendants are dumb. However, a lot of the creators of a lot of these alcohol companies know that the veil is thin during this season. Alcohol opens you up to possession. So a lot of things that are going on are legit by design. It's by design that they be having all these Halloween parties and everybody want to get drunk and have crazy costume parties on Halloween. That's a terrible time to get drunk. A lot of people want to, get drunk during Scorpio season. It's a terrible time to get drunk. It's just terrible time. I've never met a Scorpio that got drunk and I was like, "Ooh, you're a fun time drunk." Like, I've never met one. Never met one, and I probably never will. And I'm at peace with that. And then also, and if you are aware of those kind of experiences within the humans are just personifications of nature. We're literally just a personification of nature. So whatever nature is doing is what we should be doing. If we're not doing it, we're out of alignment, period.
Out of alignment, out of flow.
You're out of flow. So if nature is in a period where all the animals are sleeping, the other animals flew down south where the heat is. If you're not sleeping or going somewhere where the warmth is, then you're out of alignment.
That's it.
There's only certain crops that grow over here in the season, like squashes and pumpkins and things, because you're not supposed to be eating a whole bunch of shit. A lot of the foods and stuff you're going to eat now are going to be well, you're definitely going to eat some fire foods, just a little bit, but not a lot, like some rooted foods, like the gingers and some of the garlics and stuff. But it's a lot of like water, cold and moist foods, because the earth is cold and moist right now. So we're dealing with squashes, we're dealing with pumpkins, we have a little space with apples and stuff like that. We're cold and moist right now. And eventually we'll move into the cold and dry, where we start getting the pears and the apples, those like very like hardier fruits and vegetables. And that's and potatoes and things, yuccas, all those kind of things like that. That's that's where we're moving into. But right now in this space and time, it's time to rest. It's hibernation time. It's not time to get a second job, a part-time job, and overtime for Christmas. It's not time for a bunch of overconsumption. It's actually a time for detox. So even being in your space for a long period of time, and just people like to sit in the house. I'm speaking to myself right now, and I stopped doing it once I realized I was doing it. But sitting in the house all day and just keep watching TV or keep all that stuff is different forms of consumption.
Yes.
Even reading a book is another form of consumption. It's not time to do any of that. It's stillness. When you go outside and you be still, there's nothing but stillness going on around you. It's not a lot of wind going on around you. It's not a lot of weather. It's not a lot of movement going around. And the colder it gets, the more and more still it's going to become outside. The acoustics get amazing in the middle of the winter. It's something about cold air. The sound is just, and that makes it a good space to go outside and ground yourself and just be quiet and just meditate in nature and be one with that stillness.
Absolutely. Yeah, nature, I mean, and that's the thing, is that's why I don't understand, again, well, I do understand why we have school buildings. We go within inside and keep you trapped inside all day, because if you really were paying attention to nature, you would know how to flow. Like you would know how to be, because it would just be. You would just be being. You'll be doing, because you would only be able to do what nature is doing. Like if it's cold, it's time to go inside, right? So because it's too damn cold to be outside. So that's a signal right there that it's time to go within, right? It's time to take time off, to meditate, to go within, to detox from all the bullshit. You know, when it's warm outside, it's a signal from nature. It's time to come out. It's time to give those gifts, to show what you've learned over the winter, to, you know, now harvest your everything that you've planted in the spring when it got nice and warm. But now it's time to come out, you know. So if we really pay attention to the seasons, we really, I mean, that's everything. We've been told, you know, we've been distracted from everything. Even, you know, when I think about music, right? Music now in its natural music will realign you. And when I'm saying natural music, it's like going out in nature and letting the birds hum and sing, and like the cicadas will get you back into alignment, right? This is natural rhythms, right? But the music that's man-made will fuck your rhythm up, just like the man-made time, just like the man-made, you know, year. You thinking the year started in January? Why the fuck would the year start in where it's cold and shit, when shit is
in
dying?
the middle of death and stillness?
Yeah,
That makes no sense. They have us so in love with death. Like, it's so, we speak death into so much. It's really a war between life and death here.
absolutely.
And the more we stay into this realm of how, you know, things have been created for us, we're going to remain dead. And that's why I love the fact that Pluto is in Capricorn right now. Pluto is in Capricorn right now.
Yeah.
Creating that transformation in that infrastructure, and creating that I won't say it's as clear as a duality, but yeah, it kind of is. Which one are you choosing? Are you choosing to stay in this realm and keep it alive and make your efforts towards keeping up the economy alive? And I know a lot of our people like, oh, well, I got a black business and I'm in black politics and da 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 da. Listen, do you feel like you have to file something every year within the United States? Do you feel like you have to file something every year within the state? Are you being balanced and checked on by the government, or you're part of the problem? Then we can't talk. I'm not coddling nobody no more, because the gods are no longer coddling me. Right. I'm not getting no more warnings anymore. I'm getting popped on my hand now. So I don't have time to give nobody warnings no more. I'm not in a space of that no more.
Yeah, it's a weirdness, because I think the thing is that, like, the teachers and the healers and the light bearers, the people that's been doing this shit for a while, it's a certain amount of elevation that we've gotten to, that honestly you shouldn't be talking to those people yet that are there yet anymore, because you've taught people who need to teach them. Yeah, because at this level you shouldn't even, I mean, this is just being honest, there's levels to teaching, right? Like, if you are a teacher in a college, you're not going to be teaching elementary school students, but you may teach the teacher who teaches the elementary school students, right? So there's a place for everybody. And so I can understand the feeling of, like, I'm not, because the people that you are talking to at this point need to be the ones that are talking to those people who still ain't there yet. I don't have the energy. I've paid my dues, you know, to graduate from teaching elementary. Now I'm teaching doctrines over here at Yale, and that's cool. You know, there's still levels, you know, certain people. And again, like when you said that about the black businesses, or I'm doing this, you know, to me, that's like the beginning part of the awakening, you know, and that's early on when you start seeing things just as black and white, and you start seeing real, you feel empowered, but then you're pissed at the other side. That's the beginning part, right? Like, that's when I first got my eyes open. It was like somebody woke me up, and you know how you wake up a sleeping giant, and I'm just like,
yeah,
right,
you're just mad, and you're doing things out of spite. You're doing everything out of spite, instead of out of love.
And everything has a tag, you know, I'm black powered, black this, black that, but it's not really even about that, because at the end of the day, if you got a black business, that's beautiful. I applaud you on having your business, because it's your business. It's not a black business, it's your business, right? You have a business. Because a lot of times we got to go back to even the suppliers of the business. Okay, because if your business is black, but you're getting your supplies from someone that's not, is your business really a black business? Because you charging us double, triple, because your supplies are high, because you're not getting. And again, that goes all the way back to, yes, be proud of having a business, yes, but is your business still in the business of making them rich. If it's not in the business of making us better, and I say this as in, I know that we still need money to function, right? But then within our community, and I'm talking about spiritually, our community, there are things we need to do as in bartering in order for everybody to grow. So there's got to be a balance of being able to, yes, we have an exchange of money, but we also have an exchange of talents and skills and stuff like that. So when you're dealing with people on certain levels, I can understand why you, again, will say, I'm frustrated. I'm not calling nobody, because certain leaders, you know, we've been through a transition. I feel like COVID, that, or should I even say the word? I don't know if we allowed to say the shit no more, but whatever. That thing happened.
They say it all the time, but when we say it, it's a problem.
Yeah. When it happened, I feel like it happened in synchronicity with the awakening, right, of a lot of people. Before that, of course, the light people, light bearers, all of us healer workers, we was already getting there, but our people was starting to really wake up. Like when I started getting ready to do my plot, it was like, and then that joint came, and I was like, this is no coincidence, right? But and that to me slowed. It's like somebody poured some honey on stuff. So everything that was going kind of fast kind of started to slow down because people started getting scared. They started doing shit they wouldn't normally do. I had friends that I thought were, you know, like ride or die spiritually. And, you know, I started questioning things when they started taking it, you know, when they started doing that. I started freaking out. I was like, what the fuck? But I understand this. We're not all the same, right? We're not all on that level. So even though I'm spiritual, I'm like, I tell people it's not a choice of the amount of spirituality that's within me. It was poured in me. Like I can't do what y'all do. I can't. Like if I wanted to, I could not.
It doesn't work out.
Right. Because
things start happening.
But there'll be things that other people will be tested on and they will break. And I don't see them as necessarily weak. I see that as their breaking point. It's not my breaking point. You know, so like when my job came up for that thing came up and my job came and it was a test of that, fuck that job. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what I gotta do for the long. This is a long haul. This is a spiritual run. I'm always thinking in spirit, but not everybody's thinking like that. Because again, we are out of human nature. So I say all that to say that my sister, I get what you're saying about not having the energy, but again, there are levels to this shit. And, you know, like on my podcast, I try to bring it down to the elementary school level where I know I get frustrated. I get inboxes from people that I know are not a part, peace and blessings, that are not a part of necessarily the spiritual community. And they watch my podcast one time and they be like, yo, that's dope. But do you think you should be talking about this? Don't you believe in this? And I'll be like, because I got to bring it down because we going back down to, don't I go, bro, I have long.
Yeah, I'm tired of coming back down. And that's why, and I don't want to sound no kind of way, because for me, I'm no longer in the business of cycles. I had my cycles already. I started to notice that the cycles were happening, and it was like, oh, no more cycles. We're not doing no more circles. Circles are weird because circles is stagnation.
Yes.
Where am I elevating to if I'm in a circle? I don't want to be in no fucking circle. Right. I'm trying to spiral out. I'm trying to spiral out. I'm trying to elevate. So while I am in the same 12 zodiac, degrees, I'm moving upward. Right. While I'm in those same 12 zodiacs as you are, I'm moving upward. So Scorpio season to me ain't the same Scorpio season for you, bro.
Yes.
Like, Capricorn season for me ain't the same Capricorn season for you. Like, so, when I talk, I'm talking for the people that you might not be entirely on my level, but you close enough to where I don't have to come back down to the cycles I was in to communicate with you. Because I'm not, what?
Right.
Where's the people that's in between? Like, what are y'all doing? Where y'all at? Y'all too busy at open mic nights and twerking and opening up black businesses. Y'all not doing what we taught y'all to do. Y'all out here giving people free tarot readings and not doing y'all homework, just reading anybody and opening windows and doors and shit. Like, we not, no. And We're going to give you these keys because it's Obatala season. The Obatala is the energy of wisdom. And tonight, Neptune goes stationary before it goes prograde. Neptune's retrograde ends tonight at 12:38 a.m. So tonight in the morning, so on and so forth. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So you get these keys, listen to this podcast, and then meditate on it. Yes. Stop asking people to come down to your level to speak to you when there are people on your level to speak to you.
Yes.
And for a lot of different people, I know that there's a certain level of awareness where you know what you're doing when you do it. You know what you're doing when you do it. You're being childish and you just want attention from this person, but you know you're not on the level to even speak to this person. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about other people out here. Like, I'm not on the level to speak to Bobby Hemmett. I could not. How could I hold a conversation with fucking Bobby Hemmett, bro? I haven't meditated enough. I haven't consumed enough. I haven't lived a 365 lifestyle to that natural liking to have a conversation with Queen Afua like we were equals. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact there's souls out there that could say the same thing about me or say the same thing about you. So why try it? Why fucking try it, bro?
I think that, like, a lot of times people but it just depends, because think about it, you may feel that way, but brother Bobby Hemmett may just entertain, you know, that conversation because he knows what level you on. But you may feel, you know what I'm saying, like I do. So I do tolerate. I'll go all the way down to newborns. I will, because I realized that there was no one patient. You know, when I needed someone patiently to understand that I didn't understand Christianity. Like, I didn't understand how some things didn't match. Nobody was answering them questions for me. And I still wanted to be a Christian. I didn't want to leave it. I just wanted the questions answered because there was fellowship in it, right? And that was what I liked. I like going to church. I like being around a lot of people. I like being able to sing. Fellowship. Yeah, I like the energy of singing, you know, praises to something that's bigger than me. And that's why a lot of us went that route, was because we needed to connect to something spiritually. And that was the thing. That was it. That was all that was being offered at the time. So a lot of people I know, even at this age, that's all they ever knew. You know what I'm saying? And so now the portals and the veils are opening up, and they have been so under the rock so hard. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard for them to stand up straight right now. And so a lot of us don't you know, we looking for the straight standards, the people that's already got they ain't got it all together, but at least they standing up straight. Right. I'm trying to pull the ones from under the rock still. You know, I see them trying to get up, and I'm still trying to get them out just to spark it. So once they get sparked, they can go to the next level and keep going up. And then eventually they'll get to the level where they're able to talk to, again, those on those levels. But I feel like, you know, at this level, we're moving in maximum, like, days is flipping, like the power is going down. So we ain't got time. I get the certain healers are not coming back down. The dimensions ain't slowing down. It's like when you're running across a bridge and the back of it is disappearing and shit. You can't turn around no more. It's like it's gone, Charlie. It's gone. So I get I can see the visual of what you're saying, sis. It's just no,
because that's what my free content is for. I got affirmation music out here. I got music where I'm talking about spiritual leaders and hoodoo leaders. I got music out here where I'm spitting historical facts on our people. I got podcasts. We on Seas of Sun podcast right now. Every other Saturday, giving y'all keys. Right. I'm on Virgo Virgin Talk. We start season 2. I do the planetary forecast every Monday. I do Hump Day readings every Wednesday. Yep. I have so much free content to where if you come into my inbox and you don't watch my free content and you think I'm about to come down for you, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not going to do it. And that's what I don't like. Yeah. That's what I don't like. It's a lot of you supposed to spoon feed me or whatever. It's that energy of the newborns. The spoon feed me. I don't see my babies is 16 and 8. You hear me? Yep. You hear me? The spoon feed days is over. I got so much free content. If you come to me and you have not watched not 1 ounce of my free content as any type of reference to have a question to me about, then don't do it.
I think it's
this is not the season for you.
I want to skip. So what it is I want to skip past learning I want to get straight to my question. And the thing about your question is I had to learn a lot to answer your question. So you need to learn a lot to get the answer of your question, because the answer alone is not going to give you what you need. It's the trials and tribulations you go through to get to that answer that actually give you the answer. That's the meat and the fucking potatoes that people don't understand. You have to go through the shit. The answer is just a words. I can give you these words, but unless you go through the shit, you're not going to understand what I'm telling you. And I've had I've had people come to me and ask me for like work done, right? They want work. They want me to, and I do it. I'm not gonna lie. Some people I come to because I'm spirit led. Some people I don't do any work for. But when I do the work for you, and when I say I do the work, I mean I tell you exactly how to do the work for yourself. Instead of I don't charge you, I tell you exactly what you go and do. A lot of times after I do that, and I talk to spirit about it, I argue with spirit that I feel like a lot of times I had to learn to even trust myself to even go to these things. And these people are just being able to come and get this information. And to me, it feels like I'm being first of all, I'm gypping them of the experience, because I had to learn this. And I had to learn it from not just going to somebody saying, this person is doing this to me. Like, I started reading and researching and doing, and then I knew the why behind it. You don't know the why,
and you just doing stuff.
It may not even work for you. And why? Because you don't have you don't even know why. So you don't have the right intentions. You don't have the right all of this. And so I get it. A lot of times I feel like if you don't have enough care in yourself to do the work for yourself first before coming to me, like if you can't find something and I don't see, like I'm using my kids as an example, if you're looking for something and I don't see you really looking for it, you just keep asking me where it is, I'm not about to help you look for shit. Okay, you need to get up off your ass. You need to look around, because I could be looking right at it, and I'm still.
My sons do the same shit. Yep, I'll be looking dead at it like, that's crazy that you can't find it, bro.
Yeah, you just want me to give you the information. And that is a lot of people, because we live in this popcorn quick culture where the information is there for you. It's just there, right? You could just Google it, just look it up. But if you don't got the meat and potatoes behind why and when, and this is why, I had Starseed reach out to me and was talking to me about, tarot, about don't fall into this movement of what people are doing with crystals and tarot and stuff like that. And it's weird to me because I don't know what people are doing. Like, I get that it's everywhere and it's in shops and stuff. I have no concern with what people are doing.
Me neither.
Whatever the fuck they want to do, but unless their intentions and people can practice whatever they want to practice, that doesn't mean that's their calling. That's why it's called a practice, right? It's a practice. Witchcraft is a practice. Being a doctor is a practice. That don't mean you know what the fuck you're doing. You can practice all you want, but I can't concern myself with what other people choose to do, or if it comes in as a fad. Why they made it a fad? To wash it down, to water it down, to make it less powerful. To say, look, everybody's got rocks now. That doesn't mean it has power. Everybody's doing this. That doesn't mean it takes away from the power to other people. It does not diminish the power to me, though, because I understand before it became a fad what it was and what it means. And so when they say, oh, you're doing tarot, I said, listen, let me just explain to you what tarot is real quick. It's paper, right? A card is paper. Paper's made from trees. Paper is also influenced by, when I'm flipping those cards, I believe that that it's being influenced by spirit, meaning when one flies out, the air is influencing it. I'm using nature, and you're telling me don't use that. You're telling me don't use crystals that come from the ground. You're telling me, and all of this stuff that you're doing is trying to actually, you're telling me you're spiritual, but you really sound like a Christian. You really sound like somebody trying to box me into telling me that, just doing it like just because it's a fad. I don't know if it's a fad for everybody else, but tarot has never been a fad for me. It's been a way for spirit to communicate with images. It's a tool like paper and pencils and anything else. Some people write, some people flip cards, some people sit there and meditate, some people, we're humans, right? So we have a body, so we can use things outside of ourselves to still tap into ourselves. And I just think people get it twisted. They think that if you're using it as a tool, and you not knowing what's behind it, then that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
Tarot, or when I pick up a crystal, I know the meaning behind that crystal. I know if it's charged or not. You know, some crystals are dead. I mean, they don't have any charge to them. They ain't been nowhere. That's a rock. But like for someone to just say, "Oh, you know, don't follow the trends," they became trends for exactly that reason. For everybody
Right.
looking at them and making it seem like, "Oh, it's just this. It has no magic behind it," because everybody's doing it. Just like everybody has a baby. You don't think that shit is magical? Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. Now it's a trend because everybody has
Did you?
babies. We've
Yeah.
always been having babies. And I don't like, I'm not a big fan of that candor of, oh, it's a trend, it's a trend, it's a trend. There are 7 billion people in the world. If you don't think that there's at least a million, a couple 100 million that's doing the same shit, like, are you for real?
Right.
Like, if you the world gets minimized so much in these phones and in these screens that
Yeah.
people forget how many humans are in the world. People forget how many pages you're not following. You know, people, oh, I got 5,000, I got 100,000 followers, and that's a lot to you. And congratulations, that's a lot to you. There's 7 billion people in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't take away your little 100,000 is cute or whatever, and that's cool that you guys all are attracted to the same hashtags and shit. That just goes to show, like, out of 7 billion people, you're gonna find at least a million that like the same shit. You're gonna find a few million. Like, there's music artists out here that have at least 100 million friends. That's cute. There's 7 billion people in the world. There's
Right.
still people in the world that don't know Beyonce's name. There's people in the world that don't know Kanye West exists. There's people in the world that have never seen YouTube.
Right.
You understand? Like, I think that the screens that people are on make people's egos so huge.
Yes.
Because they get so overwhelmed by 5, 6, 7-figure numbers.
Yes.
That the idea of there being a 12, 15, 18 digit number, like, your shit doesn't even meet half of the popular. Like, you're not even, what are you, a 0.001% that you've interacted with before you came up with this generalization about women, American women, black women versus African women. Like, I can't with the generalizations is a very lazy way of thinking.
Yes.
And it's a dangerous way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
It leads to so many psychological disorders and imbalances. You have no idea. If okay, me being transparent with y'all, I'm starting to develop a fear of going outside. I don't want to go outside no more. Why? Out of 32 years of my life, I got hit by a car twice in 1 year. Twice in 1 fucking year. I started the year in a car accident, and I'm ending the year in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I don't want to go outside no more. I'm kind of done. But those are 2 incidents that maybe took 2 minutes out of my life. It took me maybe 60 seconds to get hit by a car out of my 32 years of life that I didn't get hit. You get what I'm saying? It's like the generalizations is so dangerous, and that's something that I'm trying to meditate myself out of. Like, it's cool when you gotta go outside, don't get heart palpitations. It's cool. I'm like, oh my, stuff, trying to like mentally prepare myself for when I'm healed and people really start treating me like I'm a regular nigga again, because it looks like niggas cannot wait to like just start treating me regular. It's so crazy. But you just can't generalize people like that. It's very, very egotistical, small-minded, and just thinking that the world is just so small because you got 6-figure followers in your phone is it's cute. But and I love that we spend all this knowledge, and I hope that the people are listening are very like absorbing it, because this is the season of wisdom. This is the season, Obatala season. Obatala is the god of wisdom. Obatala is the season of luck and generosity, as Obatala was the god who was said to actually had shaped humans from clay before breath was breathed into them. Obatala was the shape the shaper. In the same breath, Obatala was also addicted to palm wine. So, in African cultures, when, a child was born with a disability or disfigurement or something, they would say, Obatala was drunk on this one. Like, I'll be mad as hell.
If I had my baby, birthmarks.
My baby had crossed cockeyed or something, and somebody came in and was like, "Oh, Obatala was lit, wasn't he?" Like, "Oh, you want fight, cuz?" I'd be so hot.
Wait a minute, does he have something to do with birthmarks? Obatala?
I keep getting. I don't know anything about birthmarks.
Okay.
I don't know anything to have an answer for that. I keep being asked stuff about birthmarks, and I was like, I have one, and it's crazy because my son has the same exact birthmark as my mother and me, and I don't know anything about birthmarks.
I heard, like, that's where you died, your past life or something like that. But I have several birthmarks, so I was just wondering about that. I heard something.
I have heard that there's indication of how you died in your last life, like there's scars of your last life.
Enoch said
I
yes.
have heard that.
Comments, he said yes.
Yeah.
Obatala, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have several. I have one right here. You can see it right here. I have a birthmark right there. I have one on my cheek over here. I have birthmarks everywhere. It's like, damn, I must have died a couple times. I'm like, pow, pow, pow.
I got one in my head up here. It's like a little ball spot. It's a perfect circle. It's so weird. It's little. Aww. I got one on my leg, and I got one on my side of my stomach, and that's the one that everybody has. My sons and my mom have that one. So I don't know, but like my sons and my mom, those are my favorite people. The rest of these niggas. So they probably was from my last life and shit. But yeah. Well, yeah, coming back to Obatala season, this is the season of wisdom, and this is the season of meditation. So it's beautiful that Neptune is going prograde tonight too. I would definitely use that space to meditate. This is a time to be still, just like the soil. Like during harvest season, we were tilling the soil and putting the seeds in and planning our intentions and what is it that we want, And that's why, and that's how, the new year is not in fucking January, because it makes no sense for harvest season to be in like September, October, and then turn around and have New Year's like 3 months after. And that's another reason why a lot of people have unrealistic ideas about the return of their harvest. Mm-hmm. Because you got the new year in January instead of in March where it's supposed to be. The return of your harvest is not going to come in January when you set them unrealistic New Year's resolutions and opening up Christmas box. Like, that's not the return of your shit. The return of your harvest is in March. You're still supposed to be setting your intentions, especially during the winter solstice from the 21st to the 24th. You're literally not supposed to be eating anything. You're supposed to be eating nothing, meditating, no type of consumption at all is supposed to be going on. Like, I probably won't even be on social media on those dates. Like, not trying to consume anything. Just keeping your intention set for Aries season, for the springtime, and that's where you're supposed to be at. And then you keep moving forward. You got these Semitic holidays, and then you got Ramadan, and then yay, it's time. Like, we're here. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So, if you're outside of that, you out of alignment. And that's not no religious shit we made up. That's how nature is moving. If you go outside and look at a tree. If you look at one tree, you look at every tree on this planet, because every tree on this planet is connected at the roots. So if you go outside and look at one tree, you will hear the story of all the trees and how they move during the seasons. And you could pay attention to that, to those connections or whatever, to the fact that the leaves are falling, or, some trees, their leaves don't fall. They stay green all year round. Some trees, their seeds start, flying around this time. Different stuff like that. That also lets you know about the region you're in as well, because there's, different regions to this shit as well with the weather and the temperature. And for reference, y'all know I go to my Bible, the Netherlands.
Hey,
This John do everything. If you want to learn about the four basic sciences of life, the earth, wind, fire, and water, right? And how those four, cross each other, but then you got the hot and dry and the cold and moist, and how the earth, wind, and fire, how the hot and dry and cold. Okay, so where the fire is, of course, you got the hot and dry. Where the water is on the other side, you got the cold and moist. And then you have, your earth and your air, on the sides, east and west or whatever. And it's like, as you're going through the seasons, you find out what quadrant you're in. Like right now we're in the cold and moist quadrant or what have you, where it's cold outside and it's wet outside, so we're still in our emotional state too with the wetness outside. Hence why it's time to be still and it's time to meditate. It's time to tap into self, spiritually and stuff like that.
Yep. Hey sis, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm stuck on the camera, so I just turned my camera off because I look crazy. Got me looking crazy. So I can still hear you and see you and everything, but I'm going.
I think she's still going in now. We can't hear you if you're talking, my love. But yeah, the Metu Netter book, if you guys are interested as far as like checking out my YouTube page, Less Nobodies, myself and my son actually read Metu Netter Volume 1 together, and we broke it down in YouTube videos where we get deep into it. But it really teaches you about, where you're at, what kind of crops are growing during that season, what you're supposed to be eating, how you're supposed to be sleeping and waking up. Like, you're really supposed to be going to bed every night at 10 p.m. and waking up just before sunrise. You're not supposed to be eating until the sun is at its highest, because we're solar beings and your guts are controlled by the solar plexus chakra. So, your breakfast, which is breaking fast, is supposed to happen when the sun is at its highest, which is usually between 12 and 1 p.m. That's when you have your large meal of the day, and for the rest of the day you're snacking as the sun starts to descend, right? You're snacking and dwindling it down to where you're not eating anymore. So that's why they also say that this is a time for fasting, because how many hours of sunlight are you getting really? If regardless of what time the sun rises, actually, if you move yourself from the clocks, you're not getting the same amount of time. It's the clocks that really mess you up. I don't really care for clocks during the wintertime, because right now it's 6:31. And honestly, if you guys weren't on a clock and you guys weren't like on some, oh, this is after work traffic, oh, I gotta wait till 8 o'clock to do this, oh, this is at this time, and after school programs and after school concerts and this, that, over there. And if you wasn't on that clock stuff, if y'all wasn't on the clock schedules and things, y'all would be asleep by now, because you should have been fasting all day. At this point, the sun is down, it's gone. It don't matter that it's 6:30. The sun is gone. We're supposed to be asleep. But in our mind, it's 6:30. It's not bedtime. It's still early as shit. It's like yesterday. Yesterday I was mad tired. And even though I was tired, I kept looking at my phone like, dang, it's only 5 o'clock. It's only 5:30. And my mind is telling me, oh, it's not time to go to bed yet, because it's only this time. It's only that time. So, it's a lot in this society, in this civilization, that's really like messing us up as far as being in alignment with nature. And that's why I can't do it no more. I can't stay in this. I don't like the word can't. I refuse, and I am not willing to remain in the way of doing things. I pulled my children out of school. My children are homeschooled. They will no longer be moving along clocks. I like the fact that I give them the foundation of being their free self. They don't have that experience of having to wait until they turn a certain age to start having self-actualization and realizations. Like, they can have it now. So, they're not like me, wait until they're 30 to be like, hold on, wait a minute. I could focus on myself. Like, I'm just now learning who Nika is, because I spent so much time being an employee, being a boss, being a mom, being all these different roles that society taught me. If I'm not these roles as a woman, I'm inadequate. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. There's something wrong with me. I'm a problem. Like, those things have been beat in my head. So, and that's to say that I sympathize with a lot of people that are still fighting those mind frames. It's hard. Even now, like, I don't work for anybody. I have my own business, and it's still hard to remind myself that it's winter time. Because in my mind, it's like, no, business is not supposed to slow down. My bills aren't slowing down. Bills don't hibernate. How am I, and you just have to learn how to trust. Now, this next statement kind of triggers people, but when it, bills seem to be the root chakra of everybody's, reason why they're not in alignment with nature and respect. My response to that is everybody had stimulus checks. Everybody had all those checks. Everybody had all the money. And those who no longer had that money that they had back then, being present, they probably got a job and they're getting paychecks. There's land for sale out here. I literally bought land for $3,000 and I financed it. I was able to put payments on it out of my pocket. You can finance land. In fact, I believe brother Rizza Islam, he actually posted about different communities. There's a community in Georgia they're developing where they literally have plots of land going for $3,000 and they're allowing financing. I bought my land in Arizona. That was my personal choice. But there's places where you could buy land for the low. You could finance it and I know some people that is paying $3,000 in monthly rent. So to say you can't pay that in one lump sum to buy some land, learn to live off the land, grow your own food, grow your own medicine, grow your own fucking shelter. Adobe buildings is hay, sand, and water. That's all an Adobe building is. And they was built tens of thousands of years ago and they still stand. You can go out into the woods if you want to go live in the woods and chop some trees down and learn how to build a house. What's it called? Bushing or bush something? Doing something with some bushes. But you could build a house. I got friends that know how to do that. There's YouTube videos. I've been watching YouTube videos for years. I feel like I could go outside and build a house right now. So let me get my leg fixed first and I'm building houses. You hear me? But there's options. You can learn how to build your own solar panels. You can learn how to, create your own heating structure. You can learn how to create your own water filtration system. Because to be honest, the municipal water filtration systems, all these metal pipes and they're old and they're dirty. People be pouring their cooking oil and their food and everything else down these pipes and stuff. Like nobody really controls what's going on in the pipes. They're nasty. So, if you develop your own water filtration system, I'm sure the water would be way cleaner than what the water is now that you're utilizing. You have to learn how to trust. If you don't trust yourself and you trust the government or your employer or that paycheck or the banks, if you trust them more than you trust yourself in nature, then your behavior is going to reflect that. But at any point in time, you want that transformation and power. You want to tap into this Pluto energy in Capricorn that's giving a transformation and power, and you want to bring the power back onto yourself. That's also something that you can do. But yeah, that's what I got for you. That's what we in a season of. We in a season of meditating on it. We in a season of aligning our will with the will of the universe. Allah, God, whoever you go to, align your will with that will. Use the winter solstice of fasting to really close your eyes and visualize, plant like that seed you planted in the soil, still in the soil, absorbing all the minerals and the vitamins from all of these beautiful, wonderful meteor showers we get all winter long to enrich the soil while it's being still and frozen. I've been telling you guys during my planetary forecast since like Scorpio season, the end of, Libra season and Scorpio season, go outside and ground yourself. We out here with all these meteor showers, and meteor showers, they go into the soil intentionally to give all those minerals and things that, were like, dried out during the summertime. and they're in full effect right now because the soil is cold and moist still. It's not cold and dry yet. We get into the cold and dry a little after the winter solstice. Then we start to move into more cold and dry air. That's when the air start getting disrespectful before the moisture come back. But that's where we at. I really hope that y'all, make efforts in y'all meditation, especially while Earth is in retrograde. Slow down. Don't fall into the hustle and bustle of the matrix. Like, all of that shit is intentional. Don't fall into this, oh, you gotta have all these gifts and you gotta get this one, that one, and we gotta celebrate this and we gotta do that. Like, you don't gotta fall for the hype. It's not imperative. If you And it's not about, oh, I don't got it. It's about, like, is it intuitive nature for y'all to be overworking yourself and over consumption? And is that intuitive nature? And it's not. So this not the season for that. Y'all had all summer to buy each other a bunch of gifts. Y'all should have did Christmas in July. Was that July 25th? That's my son's birthday. But that's when y'all supposed to have the gifts and doing all this extra stuff and eating and stuff, because that's when y'all getting the most sun to assist y'all in digestion and stuff like that. Even though the majority of stuff y'all eat is garbage anyway, y'all not even supposed to be eating stuff y'all eating. Like, if you can't go outside and find a tree or a bush or a root that grows what you're eating, then you probably shouldn't be eating it. Like, I can't go outside and find a cereal tree, unfortunately. Like, so unless I'm over here putting my own, like, oats and stuff together, I probably shouldn't be eating this. Or this is probably, like, doing something, it's probably got some stuff in it that I shouldn't be in my body, because a lot of manipulation had to go into this for me to eat it. Just like all these spirals I'm going on them intentionally to show you how expanded your meditation has to be during this season. It's going to be bigger than a little 15-minute, oh, I'm in such a good mood, a little 5-minute, I'm going to have a good day today. Like, that's cute and all, but, like, I need you to really meditate on how you want to live your everyday life. Let that seed absorb all those minerals and vitamins of your thoughts. That's what this season is about. And then when the soil starts breaking through, the roots will start growing to those thoughts. The roots will start going to those seeds that you've been trying to materialize and manifest. And that's a beautiful thing. It really is. I really hope y'all take heed. Don't come around me in the springtime talking about how tired y'all are, because y'all not gonna get none of that from me. But I'm gonna let y'all go. Hold on, I got something on the chat. Oh, you are here. Hey. But yes, I appreciate y'all, tapping in. I apologize for the technical difficulties and whatnot. Again, this is the season of meditation. This is the season of fasting. This is the season of slowing down, going inward, just reminding yourself of the things you tried to manifest. Don't get caught up in these shortened weeks or these shortened moon phases. All of those cycles or spirals, it depends on where you're at in life. All those cycles and spirals are happening simultaneously to the seasonal spiral as well. So, like, get your multitask game up. But 'tis the season of slowing the fuck down. Earth is in retrograde. You are an earthling. You should be in retrograde as well. All right. Peace, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this seeds of sun. Those are my seeds from the sun.